Hello and welcome. Pierce Brosnan's $100 million home is still for sale, so if you're looking for one, it's available. Or instead, we're looking for $2 million homes around the country. This week, we're looking at Oregon, which was a little bit tricky because from the time we started to when we got ready to tape, a lot of the homes have been sold, so I had to go look at all new inventory, but it is all good. We're going to give you quite a few homes. There's nothing that super stood out this week, so here we go. We'll get right to it. So, this was just one that has been sitting there a while. It's some artsy looking home, but they have no details to it or no pictures. It's like they have the external, but then they're going to get back to it. So, that's available. That's been on the market for 220 days. Next up is this one, which is really just kind of rustic, kind of over the top. It is located not too far from Portland, so the location's not bad, and it's near the ocean. It was just, I mean, I'm kind of a fan of the rustic, but this one was a little over the top. It wasn't bad. Some of these, I mean, none of these are bad. This is a nice kind of get out to nature kind of house, so nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't really singing to me this time. So here we go. Another get out to nature. This one is was located in the southern Oregon, which was kind of far away from stuff. I guess it is close to Crater Lake, so um, so that wouldn't be bad. But it was not quite as refined as the other one. It did have nice windows. I like that, the area view of it, and I think overall it had 113 acres, so that's why it's a little bit up up the road from the other, and it was right next to a trout river. So if you like fishing trout, this would be the place for you. But overall, the house itself was a little plain. Next up, this one is like refined rustic, and I kind of liked it, except for the location was just really kind of nowhere. So it wasn't close to Portland or other things. So it was just in southern Oregon, a little bit out of the way. But on the inside, I really did. It was like, I don't know. I liked it. Like I said, it was kind of refined rustic. So like the wood wasn't quite as bare tree looking. Um, but they actually took a chance with it. I like that. I do like it when people try and do a little bit extra with it and goes the extra step. Big kitchen. So I think the inside was nice, and if the location, I would like to know how they got that piano up there. But that was very curious to me. Uh, the upstairs den. I mean, if this house was somewhere else, it would have been a lot higher on the list. But anyway, here we go. So next up, so this is kind of the other edge of Oregon. You have a lot of the outdoorsy rustic homes, and this one is the cliffside along the ocean. So, what Oregon, the only thing that's kind of weird for it is they have kind of a look, don't touch deal with water. So, this one is there's actually a little beach beneath the house. So, that was kind of nice, and there's supposed to be some way you can get to it, but it's not really apparent. Um, so, I think that's kind of nice for the house, if you're okay with it not falling in the ocean one day. But the house itself was a little plain. It's located again in kind of southern Oregon, so if you need something more than just the ocean, this is not exactly the house for it. Next up, we have, so this one was also along the ocean, but it had more of a modern design to it, and it was also in the southwest part of Oregon, but it had a kind of an interesting modern design to it. Some nice views. Again, I don't know how much of that you can get down to, and then with it being so rocky, I don't know how much of it you'd want to be to. This one was a little different in the fact that it was close to, like some beaches and stuff. So while its beach isn't really good, there's some beaches you could go to. Might be a little chilly, but there you go. I don't know. It just didn't really sing to me. It did have an elevator, so I guess that's all right. Next up, we get into the top 5, and this one was an old beauty. I believe was built in 1880, which is saying something because the state was founded in 1859. So this old beauty's been around for a while now. This is if you want city living, because you don't have a lot of land, you don't really have a yard, but you're like in right downtown Portland. If you needed a little bit of nature, you have this nice Japanese garden over here that you could get away. If you're into Major League Soccer, there's the Major League Soccer park there. So, I mean, from that standpoint, it's really nice. But getting back to the house, I did like the interiors of it. For an older house, it was big. So I like the attention they did to the woodwork, and they took extra time with everything, and all the different fireplaces, have some nicer than they had to be. Here's the kitchen. So, they have those stoves are expensive. Yes, so they did a little extra with the woodwork too. And it's not a huge kitchen because it has a skinny little island, but it's nice. I mean, for the age of the building, it's really nice. But like I said, all that being said, like, that's your backyard. So you go from one extreme of having 110 acres to this is it, and those are your neighbors. So anyway, this next one really reminded me, I think it was a 1900s home that was just totally remodeled. Just really reminds me of a Midwest home. I don't know. So I really like it. It's built on 3 acres, but the cool thing of it, it's like in a Portland suburb. So you can go in and have all the benefits of a big city, but still not quite be in the big city. So that's kind of a nice combo right there. And it's got a nice porch area. So just great views. I don't know. So the inside is a little bit compartmentalized. So this is probably one of the bigger rooms. But I could see where people would not like the layout because I've not been in it, but it doesn't seem very open. And the kitchen is, I mean, that's it. That's kitchen. So it doesn't have a lot of the modern amenities, I guess you could say. It does have like another little entertainment area, so that's kind of nice, and in a theater room. So that's all right, and it just was very peaceful. And if you like having privacy but still having neighbors, this would be a good fit. Some people like hanging out with people in their neighborhood, and it's kind of difficult when you're on 112 acres. So there's good and bads of that. So this one, let's scroll back to the top. So this one is located just east of Portland. So again, you're out away from it, but yet you're close to the city. You could drive in. I think it's about an hour-ish drive. So it's very nice. The inside, some people wouldn't like this. I do. I like the big double windows, and I like the wood frame windows. That's fine with me. I think the kitchen was, the high chaired kitchen. People can just sit in there and eat, and a nice view. You got a view of Mount Hood, and I forget the other mountain. So very nice. I think, what was the other thing? Oh, that's another house. But you have this huge garage with 3 big bays, and so that's kind of, you could bring all your toys and kind of go there. And that being under $2 million, you could get your big RV and then head out to nature from there. So that was very cool. So this house is another one of our seaside homes. I was kind of torn between them. This one was kind of located a little bit in the boonies. Again, it's like you could get to these other beaches. Itself, I think, is another one of those that's rocking. It's really weird. Like, Oregon homes do not have pools, and barely any have hot tubs. It's like they have a thing against water. But I like that. This seemed like a very open, very light-filled home, and that's kind of what I liked about it. It seemed like a modern kitchen with lots of amenities, lots of thoughtfulness. I mean, that's your view while you're doing the dishes. Um, I just, I mean, again, nothing stellar compared to some other states, but the one thing that I guess I didn't put in here is there's a lot of McMansion homes. So especially around Portland, there's a lot of just homes that you couldn't tell they're on Portland. There's nothing distinctive about them. They're big and they have everything, but they're not. There's nothing special about them, the location or anything else. So number one. So here we go. This one just looks like a big resort, and it's kind of got. On top of that, it's got a very nice location. I think it sits on 83 acres, but it's an hour from Portland, and then it's an hour drive to the ocean. So that's kind of fun. You can have either way. And if you like wine, there is, and a Dairy Queen. There's all these vineyards, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 vineyards. I think there's some more, 8, 9, 10 vineyards, like within staggering distance almost. So I think that would be a lot of fun. I mean, there's a that would be very cool. Little regional airport. But the house itself, here we go. The house has big windows. It's not the most modern house on the inside, but it's not over the top rustic. I do kind of like all the little shelves and the area for knickknacks and good use of storage. But they did try to add extra windows. So not only did they have the side window, but the upper one. And they did that in just about all the rooms. I really appreciate it. They had one hot tub. And they had this open space, which I like that because I like to play wiffle ball, or getting out, throw the frisbee. Some of these are so secluded that they don't have any open space, but this does. And like I said, just having the nice views and being out there on 80 acres would be pretty cool. Yet being kind of close to society. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy this series. I make it because I like looking at homes, and if just one person is made better by watching it, I appreciate it. So I hope you have a good day. Take care, and I'll see you.